Hi everybody, this is Exile Guy, and tonight, after having smoked a fatty, I was reflecting on the Occupy movement, and, reflecting because that's what you do when you smoke a fatty, unless you got, somebody to, spew bullshit with or whatever, but, that's not what's happening. And I was thinking about Bank of America, and, Bank of America doesn't pay any taxes. They, definitely not paying their fair share. They're the third largest company in the world, and they got bailout money, and they don't really loan out a whole lot of money, and as a consequence, their profits have been kind of down, and their reaction to that has been, well, when people use their debit cards, Bank of America is going to charge them a fee. They're going to charge them a fee for using their own fucking money. So that's kind of a racket. And I was thinking about that and how Bank of America is kind of running a racket. And then I recalled that early in the last century, Bank of America started out, it was called Bank of Italy. And it started in San Francisco, and it was started by an Italian man, and it was started in San Francisco, and it mainly catered to the Italian immigrants who lived there, mostly along the north, in the North Beach area of the city, if you know the city at all. You know what I'm talking about, but it's an Italian neighborhood, and it catered to those people because they couldn't, they were poor immigrants, and they couldn't really do business with the more established banks in the city, and they grew and grew and grew and grew, and I kept thinking, Bank of America is really the Bank of Italy. They changed their name. Bank of Italy was a company that mostly took care of what? Well, it took care of the Italian immigrants. So I'm thinking, well, okay, and what did they do? They loaned them money and charged them interest. Okay, well, that makes sense. That's kind of an Italian thing to do. So if you look at the progression here, it's like Bank of America pays no taxes, loans out no money, charges people to use their own money. It used to be called the Bank of Italy, and its practices were pretty much the same as they are now. But if you look at, what that's like the Bank of Italy was actually kind of like an arm of the mafia. And so you look at this Occupy movement, and you see that there are many companies that have started at a very humble origin, but maybe with a crime or two to raise the initial capital, and there they are. Now they're running the show. They control my life, they control your life, they control everybody's life because they got enough capital, they got their fingers involved in everything. So let's go back and look at what I just said. You got the Bank of America equals the Bank of Italy equals the mafia. And then I'm thinking, and I'm reflecting on that, because I just smoked a fatty. And I'm thinking, well, my opponent, Honest John, is also financed by the mafia. So now we'll go back and look at what we just learned. So the Bank of America equals the Bank of Italy equals the mafia equals Honest John. So now when you go back and look and maybe become involved in the Occupy movement, you'll see that Honest John is part of the fat cats that are really running the show. So don't forget that. Remember, I told it to you. Okay? And why would I fucking lie? Why? I shouldn't fucking lie. I'm Exile Guy, and I endorse this message.